Hello, second grade. Welcome back to our math videos. We have 9.5 today, continuing with our graphing unit. And we're going to be looking at a different type of graph today. We've been working a lot with bar graphs. Today we're going to be working with pictographs, or you can call them picture graphs. It obviously gets this name because we're going to be using pictures to represent the votes. So after the data was collected and we did the survey, this is what our pictograph would look like. We still have a title, favorite subject. We have the votes over here, and then we have our subjects down here. So we have math, reading, and social studies. An important part to this picture graph is going to be the key. It's going to tell us how many votes each picture represents. In this case, it's 1-to-1. So one pencil means one vote. So what we want to do now is kind of total these and give a number to them, so when we refer back to them, we know how many for each. So I like to do that because then I don't have to keep recounting the pictures to know how many votes. So for math, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So next to this one, I can put my 8 votes. For reading, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 votes here. And for social studies, I have 3 votes. Now looking at the question, how many more students chose math than reading? For this, there's a few ways to do it. We could do the 8 minus 6 to get the answer, or as we did with bar graphs, we can see the line where it stops and then see how many extra votes were there. So the answer to this one would be 2. Or you could simply do 8 minus 6 to equal 2 if you like doing it with the number sentence. Let's look at a different picture graph now. Now we have a picture graph of cars, and we're going to say that these represent cars sold at a dealership. Now the main thing up here is the key. One car represents 5 cars. So now it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of these cars counts for 5 cars. We're going to need to do some skip counting here. So Monday we have 5, 10, 15, 20 cars sold. For Tuesday, once again, we're going to skip count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 cars sold on Tuesday. For Wednesday, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 cars sold. And on Thursday, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 cars sold. So now that I have my numbers, there's a couple ways we could do this. Reading the question, it says, how many fewer cars were sold on Monday than on Tuesday? So all we're focused on here are the numbers for Monday and the numbers for Tuesday. So looking, I have 40 here and 20. Now, what I want to do is a subtraction problem of 40 minus 20. Mental math tells us that 4 tens minus 2 tens gives us a total of 20 left. Now another way we could do this is go through and compare. Match up the cars and then see how many are left over. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we can compare that way. This one's a little off because the cars aren't really lined up perfectly. Now this is the last type of pictograph that we're going to see, and something might pop out at you right away when looking at the graph up here. You might have noticed that at the end of them, they only have a half of a picture, which is a little bit odd. So let's see what that means. Our key here tells us that each pumpkin equals 2 pumpkins. So for every picture that we see, that means 2 pumpkins. So I'm going to go through and fill out the numbers. For Kurt, he did 2, 4, 6, 8 pumpkins. Now Rupert has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, but then we get to the half pumpkin. Half of the 2 pumpkins here would actually only be 1. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. One more gives us 13. Mary has a similar situation. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then because it's a half, it's only worth 1, which would be 15. Stanley's is simply, he doesn't have any half ones, so he'll be counting by 2 the whole time. And once again, I'm counting by 2 because each picture is worth 2 pumpkins. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Aaron has a half pumpkin at the end here, so that's only going to be worth 1 again. 2, 4, 6, 7. And Nina, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Another half, which would put us at 15. So as you see, I do like labeling with numbers after I'm done looking at the picture graph. So how many pumpkins did Mary pick? We can look up at hers here. We don't even have to count again because we already did the work. Mary picked 15 pumpkins. So those are 3 different ways in which you'll be seeing pictographs tomorrow, using pictures to represent the votes. And you can see that in this slide that we cut them in half to make it half as much as they were worth. In the other slide, we had them the cars each worth 5, so sometimes they're worth more. And the first one was 1-to-1, in which 1 pencil was worth 1 vote. Please leave a comment of something that you learned today about pictographs and come in ready tomorrow.